But for me, dark meat on the side, white keeps me mean and lean. You know, that's why I married white man.
Yet for me, Darth Mead, as an afterthought white, keeps me mean and lean, you realize. That is the reason I wedded white man. That is what I like. Oh, you all can't persuade me that Jeezy didn't have the foggiest idea what he was finding himself mixed up with. When he wedded Jeannie Mai, who freely said that she prefers her dim meat as an afterthought, and a lady who prefers her dull meat as an afterthought, and furthermore has a hot attitude. I have a truly hot attitude. Not a many individuals know this, yet it's only something in my family. I've seen it my grandma. I'm sorry, I say saw it in my granddad, to my grandma, to my mother, to my auntie, to me right well. Jeezy sought legal separation. And you understand what's more regrettable, Jay found out about the separation simultaneously. We as a whole preferred she was totally walloped, cuz isn't she the person who as of late praised her soon to Bex's book and his achievements in a genuine IG post? Like everything was going on perfect between them, you all. We should simply get into what's actually the deal with this separation, cuz it's chaotic, muddled chaotic. So in the separation recording, Jeezy expressed that their marriage is hopelessly broken with no expectation for compromise. Jeezy is likewise looking for joint legitimate guardianship of their little girl, as per the legally binding notes. And the two had a prenuptial arrangement that Jeezy X's will be implemented exactly the same day Jeezy petitioned for legal separation. He additionally took to Instagram and imparted a photograph to an exceptionally trivial subtitle, saying that he is too centered around who he is becoming to zero in on who's not accompanying him. And surprisingly, however, neither Jay nor Jeezy have given the particulars of what prompted the separation. We've all seen's been a tad of recap of this relationship. Jay and Jeezy met in November 2018 on the arrangement of the Genuine, and to certain individuals Jay and Jeezy 2 or 3 ghosts. And obviously Jeannie was having the best a great time getting to realize him. Has been one of the most lovely encounters of my life. In Walk 2021, they got hitched subsequent to being locked in for like a year. And due to COVID limitations, the function was a lot more modest. And in September 2021, G uncovered that she was pregnant. And surprisingly, Letterco has in on about it in a really profound uncover, despite the fact that I said, like what I believe that should do, what I won't do, what I'm never going to do. You never halted me to advise me that a divine being is generally in charge, and B, that it would be conceivable that I would go gaga for someone, meet someone who might totally impact the way that I take a gander at life. Thus I needed to let you know, folks, leading that I'm applause. Pregnant now. For the people who recall, Jeannie was hitched before for a considerable length of time to Freddie Hars. I wedded him 'cause he resembles my father. He's extremely steadfast, exceptionally humane, so entertaining, a magnificent fellow. And in our 13 years of being together, there was never any untruths, no disloyalty, no swindling, nothing. I would rather not go into the relationship with Freddie, 'cause he truly showed his behind after the separation. Yet it's generally estimated that their marriage finished on the grounds that Jenny never needed to have children, so tragically, when she at last chose to have a kid with Jeezy, he separated from her well, with the separation standing out as truly newsworthy. And many individuals have been thinking about what happened, particularly on the grounds that it shows up as though Jai was totally sucker punched and had no clue about what was going to hit her. Clearly a ton has been hypothesized about the genuine motivation behind why they isolated, yet might I at any point start by helping you to remember Jeannie's scandalous statement. Fetishizing people of color, cherish people of color. I did yet, for me dim meat as an afterthought white. Keeps me mean and lean, you know, that is the reason I wedded white. Definitely, that is what I like, sheesh. The web always remembers you all in any case. As much as Jai apologized for her remarks, when she originally said them, she was called out for fetishizing individuals of color, particularly as she alluded to them as dim meat. And get this, in addition to the fact that she alluded to the men as meats, she additionally nonchalantly conceded to appreciating having an individual of color as a side piece. Jay even flew off the handle when her co-has intruded on her, with remarks saying that they misjudged her, yet we understand what we heard Jeannie. And with the separation for standing out as truly newsworthy, her remarks additionally reemerged with individuals saying that the dim meat probably terminated. Additionally, I would rather not begin anything. And this is what individuals are talking about on the grounds that the web is going crazy with theories that since Jai herself said that she can't only date a person of color, perhaps quite possibly she had another man, and that other man is, in all honesty, Mario Lopez. Presently reports are going crazy that Jay and Mario were out there messaging each other relaxed and got uncovered, so Jeezy chose to end the marriage sincerely. I don't have the foggiest idea where this is coming from and how evident it is. Nevertheless, this is one reason that fans accept their marriage finished. And we should not fail to remember that Jeezy has a background marked by relationship show and lawful issues. And it was inevitable before that side of him began appearing in his union with Jai. I mean, Jeezy has various children by various ladies. Thus for Jay to likewise have expected a man like that to be in a drawn-out, reliable, monogamous relationship was a bit crazy. And for those of you who've been following, you've presumably seen that Jeezy tends to hop after the child is conceived. So we are not exactly taking a gander at a holy person in this present circumstance. Yet the separation might not have been completely about that. Recall that she transparently examined her red-hot attitude during her experience with Jeezy, saying that he moved her to chip away at herself in manners her past accomplice. Had not, I didn't see that I had a hot attitude until I got with Jeezy, and my equivalent, here's an individual, and I truly regard. And when I would regurgitate a portion of my old propensities, and he was like who that is not flying here. Jay herself said that she was chipping away at her displeasure issues. Yet it's hazy the way in which fruitful those endeavors were over the long haul. Perhaps her hot attitude might have been the motivation behind why Jeezy could never again stand her. As a matter of fact, a source near Jenny told Media Takeout Jai isn't the sweet woman you see on television. That lady can be forceful and extremely rude. Absolutely not a chance that Jeezy would tolerate that for a really long time. So it might have been that Jeezy understood that he could never be enough for Jay as a person of color. Or it might have been Jeannie's red-hot attitude that prompted the separation, yet there might have been different justifications for why the marriage didn't work. For example, one reason might have been their unfathomably various ways of life. While Jay is profoundly submerged in the Hollywood scene in LA and content creation, and is about the marvelousness and glitz, Jeezy has a fairly low-key nature and spotlights essentially on his undertakings and periodic visits. And when I let you know that Jai let us know all that was happening in that marriage, I mean without question, all that one of my number one positions is truly being on top of Jay. Since then you see your paunch, you see his face. And when he will play like when he's like playing with your stomach, or playing with, and what he plays with your midsection during Yes Like It, just 'cause then it resembles. I credit him, I didn't instruct him to do this. So him normalizing that the child's there, you know how a few men, maybe as I would rather not touch the child, or perhaps I'm not contacting the tummy, but rather making everything like, yo, you became up in the blend. In this is the way you got made. Perhaps Jeezy became weary of being driven into the spotlight, and his adoration life being overshared by Jay. As a matter of fact, one individual truly concurred that the oversharing could have been an enormous issue, and posted on Twitter, Jeezy and Jai Mai's marriage was so happy-driven that woman made her dim meat as an afterthought spouse into a substance husband to have a substance child, since she had a substance-based way of life. It was depleting following her page and station, so not astonished by this separation recording. Likewise, Jay and Jeezy run in various groups of friends have different arrangements of companions, and their social foundations are very much like oil and water. So it's conceivable that these distinctions might have added to their separation. Many individuals additionally accept that Jay and Jeezy entered the marriage not be guaranteed to out of adoration. Yet the two of them had ulterior intentions in Jeezy. It's conceivable that he might have been drawn to the transitory exposure and the tasteful allure that Jenny brought to his life, and he probably won't have been completely arranged for the obligations of marriage. Taking everything into account, it's conceivable that she saw monetary security in Jeezy. It's likewise conceivable that she saw in Jeezy a potential chance to break into the universe of metropolitan diversion, and that would have helped support her vocation. Yet what do you all believe? Was the relationship only poisonous? On the two closures, are you stunned that gays sought legal separation? Or did you see it coming? Let me in on your viewpoints in the remarks area underneath.